Aswand Cruickshank back again. Your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. And I gotta tell you, it's again, like I tell you all the time, but I feel like football season is approaching us. I get that itch. I get wrapped up in so many memories. In fact, it's honestly not just this time of year. Football made me who I am. It's where I got my acceptance. I was a sophomore in high school, and I was on the JV team at Good Counsel High School, and I was voted captain to be on the JV team. And to this day, I don't think my teammates understood how much that really saved my life. I mean, just a few months prior, I was this close from being kicked out of the school. My grades sucked. I didn't play on the freshman team prior, so no one knew I played any sports. Not only was I a black kid, but I was a black kid with a very unique and funny name that no one wanted to pronounce. So no one knew how to pronounce. I mean, listen, grades suck, black, name can't pronounce. The grades didn't play any sports, whatever. I mean, listen, I was a social misfit. All right, social misfit. So to be there and then 2 to 3 months later be voted captain of the football team changed my life, changed the world, and obviously, because of what I had seen just a year prior, I took that responsibility of being a captain on this football team very, very seriously, all right? So they had a practice during that year. It was like during two-a-days where something happened where there was a bunch of kids who weren't there. Like, there was a bunch of players that missed practice. There was only a handful of guys, and I remember the head coach at the time, his name was Coach Bonasissi, was just pissed off because we couldn't do a lot of the things that we were supposed to do. And this isn't like some public school. This is Good Counsel High School. So you start missing practices, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, so at the end of practice, Coach Bonasissi had us think of something to do to punish all the kids that weren't, or all the players that weren't at practice that day. You know, what are we going to do to punish them, this, that, and the third? And I think somebody came up with the idea to have them run a hill for every person that was late. So I believe it was like close to 17 kids that weren't there that were supposed to be there. So have them run 17 hills or something like that. So here's what happened. In the next practice, everyone showed up. And at the end of practice, Coach Bonus says he had everyone run the hills. And then he said, all right, everyone's going to run 10, and for the kids who weren't there, they're going to run an extra 10 or something like that. I think it was some deal like that, right? Now, right before, once we ran hour 10, and I was at practice, and once we ran hour 10, I remember right before he was about to send the kids who were punished, to run the 10, I remember there was a guy, a teammate of mine, a guy that I still stay in touch with to this day. I still keep up with what he's doing. His name was Joe Marangelo, right before, he didn't have to do this, right before he was about to send the kids out, or send the kids down the hill who were supposed to be running the hills for punishment, Joe Marangelo said, wait, no, I'm going to run these hills. I'm going to do it with them. I'm going to do them with them without having to do it. All right. And then towards the end of it, the whole team, everyone just started running those. First of all, that's why we went undefeated. That's why we went undefeated that year. It was a certain culture, a certain standard that everyone said. And me personally, when I saw Joe Marangelo do it as a captain, I said, you know what? You got to step it up. You can't just watch people outwork you or watch people get better. And that's the way it should. That's the way it should be when it comes to building culture. Morning. How are you? When it comes to building culture, everybody has to be on that page. Everybody has to want it just as bad as the next one. Notice I didn't say Stephen Diggs, Jelani Jenkins, or Blake Countess, or Dorian, the hundreds, it feels like, of players that have come from Good Counsel that have gone on to the National Football League. I named a guy named Joe Marangelo who I don't even think he even started on varsity our senior year. However, he is just as important to the culture. Very similar. Actually, I'll close you out with just this past episode of The Shop with LeBron. He said you could have Jordan, you could have Shaq, you could have Kobe all on the same team. Without a winning culture, that program or that organization will go absolutely nowhere. So the question you should be asking yourself now is, as you're in your working environment, as you're in your working world, as you're doing your work, doing your thing every day, are you contributing to a conducive culture, a culture that is going to make everyone feel the way Marangelo felt and said, hey, I'm going to run these hills with him. That's how it happens, all right? Again, I dive deeper into these concepts on my podcast. Just check it out. It's on Move Swiftly, the Move Swiftly podcast. Check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms. Sorry, guys, I just finished taking my run, so my mouth is kind of dry. but I like to knock these out when I'm fresh off the run. Want to dive deeper into my world? Go check out makeyourmove.com. That's makeyaamove.com. Purchase a couple copies of my book, Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.